Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au. Welcome to my monthly update for February 2025. The monthly update is always a halfway through the month touching base on whatever theme seems to be presenting at the midway mark. Often there's, of course, more than one theme that's presenting or flowing through a person's life. But this month, what I want to do is have a look at, shall we say, projecting. Projecting, really interesting word, isn't it? Because like everything else in the spiritual, intuitive, dare I say it, even new age world, every label can have so many different angles in it and so many different meanings depending on who's using it. So first of all, before I continue on that note, what I want to do is come back to the chart, the numerological chart. This video isn't just about numerology. I find numerology really helps to cement things in the physical, just like other people might find tarot or astrology or any other form of tangible cue. At the end of the day, being intuitive, we don't actually need anything to help us download, but we all have our comfort levels. For me, one of those things is numbers. So let's double back. In a numerological chart, there are three main numbers. The birth number, which tells us what a period or even a life is here to help us learn about, step into, come to exemplify on a spiritual level or not, and therefore share, add value in the life with. The MO is the second number, and that denotes the sort of vibrations, rhythms, lessons that are going to help us deliver on the birth number state. You could say even that the MO is how we are cornered to get the birth number learning, development, and sharing underway. By adding those two dynamics up, we also get a third number, which is called the reality number, which talks about the end states that we're due to manifest, step into, represent, as we step along our journey. So in 2025, the MO and the reality number both add down to 4. If you want to read more about this or even learn more about it on a video sense, go either through to the YouTube channel for Psychic and Energy Work or to my website, psychicandenergywork.com, where I've written or talked about this year's chart and those various aspects. So again, this year's chart brings us 2 4s. This month, February 2025, also brings 4 4s. So all up in the February 2025 period, we're experiencing 6 4s playing through things. And if your personal chart from your birth date and your full birth name also contain 4s, you bet there's probably going to be, shall we say, amplification on all of that. All right, so why am I highlighting 4? 4 can be read like any other number from a number of angles. The angles I want to look at today are those being projections, approaches, because, of course, what we project is implicit. It goes hand in hand with our models, with our beliefs, with our perceptions, and therefore how we approach things. Projections. What's a projection? Yes, all right, a projection can be something that I consciously, shall we say, think about or entertain and then beam at somebody, whether that be because I want to send love out or whether it's because, maybe I want to send the opposite, God forbid. So projections can be very consciously, shall we say, done. Then there are also the projections that we have no idea we are pumping out, the thoughts and feelings, the underlying narratives, the silent narratives that we really yet to bump into on a conscious and therefore spiritual level. So 4 in that sense is also building because, of course, whatever we project, we tend to start to create. Now, what am I talking about here? 4 is also, therefore, build. To build well, if we're talking about energetic, spiritual, intuitive manifesting, some of that process requires us to receive, not just to make happen. That is in itself is a huge subject, isn't it? Because, of course, depending on who's talking about spirituality and manifesting, we can get a very different read, a very different message. But at the end of the day, manifesting includes flow, and flow in itself inherently, it is coming towards and coming out or going, moving further away. And so therefore manifesting is receiving and giving, receiving and pumping out. If we're talking about those moments where we are wanting to receive really great guidance, whether it be for ourselves or for somebody else, part of that as a narrative, or even as, shall we say, a practice, comes back to our ability to truly receive guidance, untainted, unlimited, unaffected by our own unconscious or even conscious narratives. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where this January seems to be really helping people. Not only do we have 4s this month, we also have an 11-2 in the chart, specifically in the birth number 2027, which reduces down to 2. And also a 10-145 on a specific level for February 2025. So implicit in this is also the message that this month is really helping us all develop, realise, come into conscious spirituality to that next degree. I know myself, I know how I'm doing things, I know how life works, and I can interface with those things really well. So all of that is background. Again, if I come back to projections, what I'm finding really interesting is that theme of, are we actually letting the divine in as the being, as the intelligence, as the wisdom, as the guidance, even as the healing and the protection energy, on any level that we believe or know it can be? That in itself is really interesting. And here I come back again to the word projection, because sometimes, of course, just like any other area, sometimes we can think we're being spiritual. And certainly we can be trying to be spiritual, consciously trying, doing all the right things, and yet still we are too full of our own narrative. That's not necessarily a negative narrative. It's just, we keep creating or filling space, filling silence with ourselves. Projections on those levels, in other words, the thoughts, the models, the assumptions, perceptions, the forecasts, I know how this works, so this is how I'm going to do it. We can all fall into that, no matter how much we know about energy work, the divine guidance, whatever, From time to time, of course, for all of us, egoic self is going to take the microphone, it's going to take the steering wheel, and before we know it, we are limiting ourselves. We're doing it again, whatever it is, in a way that we're limiting what can come through simply because we've got into a groove of familiarity, of pattern, of habit, even on a most subtle level. But this is where February 2025, I believe, is trying to help people break through that habit again. What do I mean by that habit? If the universe is real, if the universe has got our back, if the universe delivers great guidance and therefore is wisdom, are we really creating a space where that, whether you call it an energy, entity, being, part of existence, whatever, are we really creating the space for Source to exist as its own individual, should we say, I'll use the wrong, no, it's not the wrong word, but it can be misleading, but are we allowing it, are we giving it the space to exist as a being, as an energy, as an entity, as an intelligence that can come in and have a conversation with us? And when I say have a conversation, if we think about what a conversation really is, it is, of course, I might speak, then you do. And while you're speaking, I actually give you room to say things. Then I might reply or I might ask you questions. But within that, and here again, the word projection, are we as energetic beings filling the space with ourselves, what we know Source would say? Or even are we shall we say, caught up in the go, 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 in the buzz energies, especially if we're living in amongst, the mobile phone frequencies, level 5, not 4. I can never remember it, sorry. But are we living in frequencies that are therefore getting us used to buzz and chatter and mental busyness, or even just energetic busyness, in a way that very subtly the mind just keeps talking? The mind is saying, you know what, I really want guidance in, but the minute we say that, we might give it a couple of moments silence, and then we're filling silence again with our little chatter. We're letting voice happen again, not necessarily verbal voice, mind voice. Words, visuals, simply because egoic self doesn't like sitting still. Egoic self doesn't like silence. It's a bit allergic to it. So to the degree that you have been finding it, shall we say, a little bit difficult to come back to true silence in a way that, you know what, I'm actually in zero. Yeah? I'd argue that for many of us, this wouldn't be a new experience. Even last year, it was just so busy, wasn't it? And part of that, and part of this year, is about helping us disconnect, even at this point, from last year's habits as they were established through the busyness that prevailed, or even fullness. And so at February 2025, we are only in the starting blocks of this new year. And because of that, life is still in the process of helping us identify those areas where we can release now. We can actually let go of that and make room for more. So to the degree that you've been struggling with letting guidance in, even just feeling your spiritual connection, you know what, I feel like I'm actually accompanied now by Source, by divine energy, by presence, on an energetic peace, zero silence level, which again is the highest point. So have a think about how you are in your schedule, allowing regular time out for silence. Dedicate, I'd argue, on a daily basis, a little bit of time. Now, sometimes we can read that as dedicate a time when, you actually come back to silence, which, brilliant. But it could even be dedicate a time when you consciously turn around to the divine and say, hello, I let you be with me right here and now in what I'm doing. Multitask your spiritual and energetic experience, just like you multitask everything. You can drink a cup of tea while you're doing your work or reading emails. You can, shall we say, watch, YouTube or television or Netflix or whatever. You can you can read a book. You can read a book at the same time as eating dinner. So if you can do those things, you can do this. You can allow the divine, you can allow spiritual energies in with you while you are stepping through your day. So important, not because you skew your focus in an unreasonable or an impractical way towards spirituality, manifesting, intuiting, whatever your aim is there. But at the end of the day also, every day, if you could, I'm being a bit of a taskmaster here, but especially if you've been finding yourself out of this muscle memory, out of this level of harmony, companionship, with divine, peaceful, healing energies, Yes, dedicate some time to come back to zero. Use breath to come back to zero. Let go of everything, even you, to come back to zero. That doesn't mean abandon yourself. It just means let go of all busyness. Let go of all I, me, my. Let go of all buzz, tension. Let go of where you've just been. Letting go doesn't mean reject or devalue, dismiss. It just means release it like a balloon and let it fly. Let it even hang in the air right next to you. But don't buy into it in a way that it's feeding through. But then within that, having come to that point, allow yourself to come to full silence, no voice. I release all voices. I release my need to chatter. I release all chatter. And every day, see if you can build the length of time you can stay in absolute silence, no creating of anything, any words, any narratives, any visuals. No creating of a space where whatever is trying to pop in, as in that is not guidance, that is not peace, felt peace, where it then starts to pull you back into the busy and the visualizing and the entertainment. This can sound so easy, it can be such a challenge. Build your muscle memory. Nothing is every day easy to achieve. So don't aim for that necessarily, especially if you've been feeling wired and disconnected on this level. Give yourself a break. Just build your muscle memory 1 minute after another, because the more we actually just turn around to the divine and say, I know you're real, and I now dedicate this moment to have a conversation with you. Nobody else, not even with myself. Whatever I utter it with you, and I allow you to reply. Just doing that is going to see the universe going, yippee, you're on track. Let me give you something that you didn't see, sense, know before, in a way that somehow will add value to you moving forward. So it's been a bit of a long one this month. I hope this monthly update helps you in some way. If you need a hand with these sorts of things, or for any form of energy work, readings, healings, clearing, intuitive development, spirit, whatever, please get in contact, whether it be by my phone 0413 525 114 or via the website psychicandenergywork.com.au. Take good care, travel well for the rest of February, and all the very best to you.